Hey tubers, part 49ersCorner coming at you with combination video contest response and care package. I know I made a video yesterday and said it was going to be my last one here, but like I said, got a care package and then saw a pretty cool idea for a contest video from Fighton52 that I couldn't really pass up. And since I've kind of been sorting through all the cards, making sure I'm packing them up properly, they were calling all kind of out and I could find them and respond to that contest pretty well. So I'll get right into it. First one pickup from me, 85 49ers Police, Roger Craig. The deal was just too good. I had this set and everything raw, but for the price, and it came out mint, it was worthwhile instead of taking the risk for my sub. And it's a new grade, so it's got the cool PSA decal right there in the middle now. Care package in from Jack Porter. A couple of these things fell right out, but I didn't look at them, I swear. He did case upon case of Strata, so apparently 49ers came out with the win. Real good looking Vance McDonald. A green, or maybe emerald, not real sure. Quentin Patton out of 50. Very nice. There's more goodness in here. Much appreciated, Jack. Uh-oh, got a Quentin Patton rainbow going here. Got the 1 out of 99. Out of Strata, the clear-cut autograph relic. And I have 1 or 2 of these of other players, so that's pretty cool. That one's out of 150. Got some in a top loader here. Stevie Johnson blue out of Absolute. Bold and red. I don't know if the red's the base or not. Prism Vance McDonald. And a die cut of Vance McDonald as well. And there is one in a bigger wrapper as well. Whoa, a graded joint. Hell yeah. Marcus Lattimore. 9 with a 10 auto. BGS. Very cool. So, cleaned up on the autos of Strata. I guess I don't need to buy any of that product now. So, big shout out to you, Jack Porter. Much appreciated. I got a couple of nicks and knacks sitting around for you and a couple other guys. I hope I get to send them off beforehand. If not, I'll have them all set in the box, ready for when I get to the next spot. But, contest response, Fighton52, 5 worst PC cards. And these are things that, if they weren't your PC, you probably wouldn't have. So, I might have stretched the rules a little bit because I grouped some things or whatever. But, we'll get right into it. But I will say, shout out to him. Again, great idea, but I'm with you on the Goodwin Champions. I didn't dig it out, but I got a Goodwin Champions Jerry Rice that has like a blue jersey in it. Dark blue. It ain't a Pro Bowl or anything like that. Never understood that. Thankfully, I don't buy the modern Jerry Rice stuff. I just buy the stuff when he was playing. But we'll get right into it. So, first one here, recent pickup, but it was an upgrade because I had it already. I've got a bunch of these. 1985 NFC Championship PSA 10. It makes the list because this is a pretty legitimate card as far as importance and everything like that. Big NFC Championship against us and the Bears. And who's on the card? It's us tackling Matt Suhey. Walter Payton had 22 carries that day. Matt Suhey had 3. Matt Suhey makes the front of the card. Come on, man. Dang, you know, he had 4. Suhey had 4 catches. I'll give him that, but Payton had 3 as well. So the carry ratio and everything, Payton should have been on this card. Didn't happen. This one's, I'm stretching the rules a little bit just because it drives me nuts. Because it's a 9. It's not because it's the Spurrier rookie. It's because it's only a 9. A 9's great for this card, but I saw a 10 once, and it was a price that I should have bought it, you know, over and over again. And, you know, if I ever saw it at that price or even close, you know, it'd take a half a second for me to buy it. But I didn't, and it was gone within an hour. And it's the most heavily weighted card in in the set on 1972 for the 49ers. I would love to have that 10 upgrade for all those points. I didn't. So every time I see, even though this is a great card, I see the 9, it just drives me nuts. You know, delayed on the decision making, and it got me. All right, here's 3 of them. I'm counting as 1 because again, I collect a big time Topps base over the years, and I spent some good money on some of these cards. Well, at least 1 out of the 2, but one of them I need to upgrade and spend a bunch of money in order to upgrade. But they're game cards, similar to that 85 one, but they're of the 49ers losing, which drives me a little bonkers. So there's the 84 championship where we lost to the Redskins. Again, we were in the mix all through the 80s. We could have damn near probably won 7 Super Bowls in that decade. And then from 72 and 73, this one, NFC Championship game, we're losing to the Cowboys. That's obviously no fun, and this was not a cheap card by any means. So I'm buying, paying big money for a lost card. But at the same time, it's also representative of we could have, our franchise, while we have, a great history, could have been way more significant to everybody had we not just kept getting beaten by the Cowboys in the playoffs in the early 70s, because we had some really good teams there. John Brody was the NFL MVP in 71. We had some legit folks, but NFC Championship, and then the next year in the divisional round, again, the Cowboys were the best NFC team. They beat us again. Otherwise, we could have had a couple of Super Bowls or at least appearances in the 70s, and that would have been a big deal for the franchise. Had we beaten the Cowboys, we wouldn't even be talking America's team probably. That's how significant that is. But this one's only an 8. I need to spend big bucks to get this to a 9 because it counts as a stallback card too, because he's right there. So those hurt pretty bad. So let's see. That was 1, 2, 3. 4 is a grouping. Topps base checklists of the 1970s. Some of these didn't cost me too much, but I subbed them myself, and then I had to upgrade, so there's some doubles in there. And then some of them are super low pop. Some of them are hand cut. I don't even think they should count towards the sets, but they do, so I gotta go get them. And I've paid some money for some of these, especially where this one cost me some real good coin. Pop a 3 from 77, but I really don't, it's tough to get excited over a checklist. If anybody would, it would be me, but still, that's tough. And I spent a lot of time, effort, and some dinero there on a damn list of players. You couldn't even throw a picture in there for me. At least when they did it in the 80s, they started throwing pictures of the guys on the fronts, calling them team leaders, etc., and talking about them in there. But there's number 4. Number 5 is, you might have seen this recently. I have a raw version of this one, but I also have now a graded one. Is a poorly chosen photo, because they did stickers in the 80s, specifically 83. I don't know how many players they did this for, at least 2, because I know they did it Montana, and I know they did it for Dorsett, but they did a top and a bottom, and you collect both cards. Well, that's what ended up to being the bottom of the Joe Montana. So I own a graded version of Joe Montana's crotch. Good call, Topps, right? I don't know how that works. I mean, it should at least like zoomed out a little bit. Maybe somebody trying to tackle his legs while he's throwing the ball or something. Give me something to look at besides crotch. So that was number 5. But again, I get to stretch this a little bit, and I got 3 honorable mentions here. All right, so honorable mention number 1 is this one, but several others. Any picture of Jerry Rice in a Seattle Seahawks uniform, no bueno, but I need it for the sets, so I got a couple. All right. Number 2 here is a whole bunch of cards. Again, I do PSA sets. Montana, well, in '88, they just went nuts with the stickers, variations all over the place. Well, PSA recently pulled all of these variations. They had all the variations out of their sets, as opposed to letting somebody that was building another player's sets add them in. And so, spending a couple of years looking for these cards, buying the boxes, and opening the packs to pull these cards and get them graded, etc., etc., I ended up with this many 88 top stickers Joe Montana, of which 2 of them count now. So I've got 20 different, I've got 16 different versions, but obviously some upgrades and everything like that. Some of them don't even have him on the front. They've got this one, him on the back or whatever. And, yeah. PSA got me on that one, so I've got a ton of cards that don't really go to PC now. But since I got all the variations, I'm not going to get rid of them. So that's honorable mention number 2. And honorable mention number 3 is not really cards, but I collect them. I collect starting lineups. And, well, there's a couple of cards that show pictures somewhat similar to this. I think the starting lineups didn't do a very good job of capturing that. So one of them is the starting lineups with the training camp shorts. We do not need to see pictures of man camel toe or grape smugglers or whatever you want to call them, or figurines of that. And they did it for Jerry, and they did it for Steve Young as well. So loosen up on them shorts or something like that before you put that out for the kids. But that's what I got for you for worst PC items. Again, Fighton52, great contest video, and thanks everybody for watching.